आम दृश्यते।
हाँ तर्हि अद्य अस्माकं कार्यम् एवम् अस्ति ओवरव्यू ऑफ ऋग्वेद कंटेंट्स इति तत्र लिखितमस्ति यद्यपि एकतः अस्माभिः ऋषीणां विषये छन्दसां विषये देवतानां विषये तथा विनियोगविषये च यद्यत् ज्ञातमस्ति तदपि प्रतिपाद्यमेव कंटेंट एव कंटेंट इत्युक्ते किं प्रति उच्यते किमुच्यते इति तु मन्त्राः अग्निमीळे पुरोहिते यजुस्देव मृत्युजम् इति तु मन्त्रः किं वदति इति प्रतिपाद्यं किम् इत्येव तत्र अपेक्षितम् अस्माकं प्रतिपाद्यांशे एतेपि चत्वारः भवन्त्येव ऋषि छन्दो देवता विनियोगज्ञानमपि तत्र कंटेंट रूपेण प्रतिपाद्य रूपेण भवति ऋषिज्ञानेन किं ज्ञायते इत्युक्ते अस्माकं ऋषीन् प्रति ऋणमस्ति तस्य अपाकरणम् अपेक्षितं तदस्माकं क्षेमाय भवति एतत्तु सामान्यतः ऋषिज्ञानस्य कारणं भवति एवमेव छन्दोज्ञानस्य कारणं कथं ग्रथितं केषां पदानां कथं प्रतिपादनं कृतं वेदे तत्र अक्षराणां
गुरुवर्य एकनिमिषं सुश्रुत महोदयेन अन्यत् जूम मीटिंग इन्वाइट प्रेषितं मीटिंग आईडी तु अन्यः अस्ति अहं चिन्तयामि सः अपि च अन्ये छात्राः तस्मिन् मीटिंग मध्ये सन्ति
एतत् तदेव एतत् नूतनं संख्यैव
तथा वा
अतः तेपि आगताः अतः पश्यन्तु तेपि इदानीम् आगताः सन्ति
Yes, Mahodaya. It is.
सर्वे सन्ति
सर्वे अत्रैव सन्ति नूतने एव सन्ति
sorry okay I was thinking I saw a message so I was thinking that
न तत्तु सम्यक् अवगतं सर्वे अवगतम् अस्ति सर्वे अत्रैव सन्ति चिन्ता नास्ति
सर्वेभ्यः धन्यवादाः
समीचीनम् अतः किं प्रतिपाद्यते इत्यस्मिन् एकः अंशः अवश्यम् अपेक्षितः तत्र सामान्येन शास्त्रेषु एवं उच्यते अहं लिखन्नेव गच्छामि यथा एतत् सम्यक् ज्ञातव्यं शास्त्रेण यत् अन्यरूपेण न ज्ञातुं शक्यते तदेव वक्तव्यम् इति अनधिगतार्थगन्त्र प्रमाणम् एतत् सूत्रमेकमस्ति अन्येन अनधिगतम् अन्योपायेन यत् न ज्ञायते तत् बोधने एव सार्थक्यं भवति तर्हि वेदेषु तादृशम् अनधिगतार्थं किम् इत्येव तत् वेदेषु प्रतिपाद्यं किञ्चित् अस्ति चेत् वेदं विहाय मार्गान्तरं नास्ति एतत् ज्ञातुम् इति तथा किञ्चित् अस्ति चेदेव तं प्रति वेदस्य उपकारित्वम् अस्ति चेत् तर्हि वेदस्य प्रामाण्यं सिद्ध्यति वेदात् किञ्चित् प्रयोजनं सिद्ध्यति तत्र तत्त्वहितपुरुषार्थरूपेण प्रतिपाद्यांशः विभज्यते प्रथमतः तत्त्वं नाम वस्तुस्वरूपलक्षणादिकं यद्यद्वस्तु अस्माभिः दृश्यते अनुभूयते तेषां स्वरूपं किं तेषां लक्षणादिकम् उच्यते तत्र गुणदोषादयः हेय उपादेयादयः यत् हातव्यं यत् उपादातव्यं हेयोपादेय विभागः इत्यादिकं तत्र तत्त्वविषये भवति यद्यद् दृश्यते अस्माभिः अग्निः दृश्यते अग्निः भूतत्वेन दृश्यते अपि तु तत्र देवत्वमपि अस्ति तत्र आध्यात्मिकत्वमपि अस्ति इति वेदः यदा बोधयति तर्हि तत्र तत्त्वांशे अधिकतया ज्ञानम् अस्माकं जायते एवं हितम् इति द्वितीयः अंशः हितं नाम उपायः यद्वा साधनं येन मार्गेण किञ्चित् फलं लब्धुं शक्यते तस्य हितम् इति वदामः हिते अपि प्रवृत्तिः स्यात् निवृत्तिः स्यात् किञ्चित् कुरु इति विधिः अस्ति तत्र प्रवृत्तिः किञ्चित् मा कुरु इति निषेधः तत्र निवृत्तिः करणीयः तत्र हितस्य प्रवृत्तित्वं वा निवृत्तित्वं वा स्यात् कुतः इत्युक्ते इष्ट अनिष्टयोः प्राप्तिपरिहाराय इष्टस्य प्राप्त्यर्थम् अनिष्टस्य परिहारार्थं यथा इदानीं नित्यकर्मणां विषये संध्यादि अनुष्ठान विषये तेन किमपि विशिष्टं पृथक् फलं नास्ति अपि तु तस्य अकरणे प्रत्यवायः भवति यदि न क्रियते तर्हि दोषाय भवति। तर्हि दोषो न स्यादिति किञ्चित् क्रियते, तत्र अनिष्टपरिहारः फलम्। इष्टप्राप्तिस्तावत् सोमादियागैः स्वर्गादिप्राप्तिः, तत्तु इष्टप्राप्तिरस्ति। इष्टप्राप्तौ प्रवृत्तिः स्यात्, अनिष्टपरिहारार्थं यत् यस्मात् निवर्तितव्यं तत्र निवृत्तिः स्यात्। एतत् साधनम् इत्युच्यते, उपायः इत्युच्यते। तस्यैव हितम् इति शब्दः अस्ति। तत्त्वमेकं, हितं द्वितीयं, तृतीयं च फलं, पुरुषार्थः इत्युच्यते। यद्यपि जनः कश्चित् किञ्चित् करोति, प्रयोजनम् अनुद्दिश्य न मन्दोऽपि प्रवर्तते इति शास्त्रमुच्यते। सामान्य मन्दोऽपि जनः किमपि प्रयोजनम् अनुद्दिश्य किञ्चित् कार्यं न करोति। यद्यपि तस्य अवगतिः दुष्टा स्यात्, हितम् अहितत्वेन गृह्णीयात्, विपरीतमपि स्यात्, अपि तु किमपि प्रयोजनम् उद्दिश्यैव किञ्चित् कार्यं क्रियते। तर्हि फलस्य विषये तस्य पुरुषार्थः पुरुषैः अर्च्यते, याच्यते। अस्माभिः इतत् पूर्वं नासीत्, इतः परम् अपेक्षितम्, अतः किञ्चित् साध्येन साधयामः। तस्य साध्यः, साध्यं किञ्चित् स्यात्, कृतिसाध्यम् इति सामान्येन उच्यते। किञ्चित् कार्यं कृत्वा किञ्चित् साध्यते फलं, तत्र अपेक्षितं। तत्तु धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष रूपेण चतुर्धा विभक्तः वर्तते। अतः सामान्येन एवम् उच्यते। तत्र तृतीयं पूर्वमुक्तं तत्त्वहित पुरुषार्थम् इति। अनन्तरं पुरुषार्थ एव चतुष्टयम् अस्ति, धर्मार्थ काम मोक्षः इति। सम्पूर्णस्य वेदशास्त्रस्य सामान्येन उद्देश्यम् एवम् अस्ति इति अन्यत्र अर्थपञ्चकम् इत्यप्युक्तमस्ति। प्राप्यस्य ब्रह्मणो रूपं प्रथमं किञ्चित् सर्वस्य जगतः अधिपति किञ्चिदस्ति, सर्वं स्वस्थाने स्थापयति, व्यवस्थापयति। तादृशं किञ्चित् बहु बृहदस्ति, यस्मात् बृहन् नास्ति, यस्मात् परं नापरमस्ति किञ्चित् उपनिषत्सु उच्यते। यद्यपि मोक्षार्थी सर्वे जनाः न स्युः, सर्वेषामपि यः फलप्रदः स तु एक एव भविष्यति। मोक्षस्यापि यः फलप्रदः स एव धर्मस्यापि फलप्रदः, अर्थस्यापि कामस्यापि। अत एव तस्य ब्रह्मशब्देन श्रुतौ उच्यते। ब्रह्मशब्दः बहु बृहत्, यस्माद् अतिशयितुं बृहन् नास्ति, निरतिशय बृहत् इति सामान्येन वदामः। बृहति ब्रह्मयति तस्माद् उच्यते परं ब्रह्म इत्यादि। स्वयं बृहदस्ति, अन्यानपि बृहत् करोति, ब्रह्मणं करोति इत्यर्थः। अतः प्राप्यं ब्रह्म भवति। प्राप्यस्य ब्रह्मणः रूपं वदन्ति सकलाः वेदाः सेतिहासपुराणकाः इति अन्ते अस्ति। सकला वेदाः इतिहासपुराणैः साकं वदन्ति। किं वदन्ति? एतद् अर्थपञ्चकं वदन्ति। तत् प्रथमं किं भवति? प्राप्यस्य ब्रह्मणः रूपम्। अत्र आधिभौतिकस्तरेपि एतत् सर्वं तस्य ब्रह्मणः एकविधं रूपम्। अनेनापि रूपेण ब्रह्म द्रष्टुं शक्यते, उपास्तुं शक्यते, तस्मात् फलं लब्धुं शक्यते इति प्रदर्शयति। यदेव न इतः परमप्यस्ति इति अन्यत्र उच्यते। तत्र वेदान्तादिषु केवलं लौकिकम् इति न, आध्यात्मिकमपि अस्ति इत्यग्रे उच्यते। अपि तु
गुरुवर्य, आदि भौतिकम् अर्थात् द यूनिवर्स अराउंड अस इति एव किल?
आमां,
ब्रह्मा ओके, तदपि ब्रह्म एव।
तत्र यच्च किञ्चित् जगत्यस्मिन् दृश्यते श्रूयते अपि वा अन्तर्बहिश्च तत्सर्वं व्याप्य नारायण स्थितः अन्ते स ब्रह्म स शिवः स सोऽक्षरः परमः स्वराट् इति उच्यते। स एव एते सर्वेपि स्वयं सर्वत्र व्यापि एकमेव तत्त्वं विद्यते, सः नारायणः इति श्रुतिषु दृश्यते। तत्र यत् अस्मिन् जगति दृश्यते श्रूयते वा तत्सर्वं दृश्यते श्रूयते तु प्रत्यक्षम् अस्माकं, प्रत्यक्षदृश्यमपि तेन व्याप्तम् इत्युच्यते। अन्तः व्याप्तः अस्ति, अन्तः बहिश्च व्याप्तः अस्ति। अतः सः अंशः न विस्मर्तव्यः इत्येव अर्थः। श्रुतिषु एवम् उच्यते, यद्यत् कश्चित् केवलं स्वप्रयोजनाय ऐहिकफलार्थं किञ्चित् करोति चेदपि तस्य सम्यक् निर्वर्तनं, सम्यक् सिद्धिः एकस्य ब्रह्मणः अन्तर्भावादेव भवति तद्विहाय किमपि कार्यं न सिद्ध्यति इत्यर्थः भगवद्गीतासु एतद् बहु विस्तरेण उक्तमस्ति विश्वरूपसमये प्रदर्शितमपि अर्जुनाय पश्य मे योगम् ऐश्वरम् इति भगवान् विश्वरूपं दर्शितवान् तर्हि तस्मिन् सर्वं निहितं तेन दृष्टम् तदेव अपेक्षितम् अस्माकं प्राप्यं ब्रह्म प्राप्यं भवति केनापि रूपेण प्राप्यं तत्र किमस्ति विरक्तानां कृते कश्चित् लोके आशां न रक्षति केवलं तस्य स्वरूपज्ञाने एव इच्छा विद्यते तादृशस्यापि बुभुक्षा भविष्यति पिपासा भविष्यति तेनापि अन्नपानादिकं कर्तव्यं भवति अपि तु सः किं करोति एतत् सर्वं मम कश्चित् दत्तवान् यद्वा दापितवान् केनापि रूपेण तत्र केवलं दृष्टौ भेदः भविष्यति कश्चित् स्वयं स्वस्मै कृतम् इति चिन्तयति अन्यः एतस्यापि कश्चन प्रभुरस्ति इति चिन्तयति तत्तु सामान्यतया उच्यते प्राप्यं ब्रह्म किञ्चिदस्ति प्राप्यं केनापि रूपेण शक्यम् अन्नं ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् इति श्रुतिः आरभ्य वदति अन्नं ब्रह्म प्राणो ब्रह्म मनो ब्रह्म विज्ञानं ब्रह्म आनन्दं ब्रह्म बहु प्रकारेण ब्रह्मणः प्राप्ति शक्यते अन्नस्यापि ब्रह्मत्वम् उक्तम् इत्यपेक्षितम् अस्माकम् अत्रापि केवलाघो भवति केवलादि इति मन्त्रः आगच्छति अन्नसूक्तम् इत्यस्ति अन्नसूक्तमपि अत्र ऐहिकम् अन्नम् अपेक्षितं भवतु नाम तत्तु पुरुषार्थे अन्तर्भवति तथापि तस्य योजनं केन कृतं तत् कथं सञ्जायते इत्यादि विषये एषा व्यवस्था केनचित् दृश्यते कश्चित् अस्य अध्यक्षः अस्ति यो अस्याध्यक्षः परमे व्योमन् इति ऋग्वेदेऽप्यागच्छति अस्य जगतः कश्चित् अध्यक्षः विद्यते अधीक्षकः सम्यक् व्यवस्थापकः निर्वाहकः कश्चित् अस्ति तर्हि आस्तिकमतं वेदेषु उक्तम् इत्यर्थः तत् अज्ञातम् अननुभूतं नास्ति इति न अस्माभिर्न ज्ञायते अस्माभिर्न अनुभूयते तथापि तादृशं वस्तु अवश्यम् अस्ति अस्ति इति यस्य मतिः सः आस्तिकः इति पाणिनेः सूत्रे एवम् अस्ति अस्ति नास्ति दिष्टं मतिः इत्येकं सूत्रमस्ति अस्ति इति मन्यमानः आस्तिकः इत्युच्यते नास्ति इति मन्यमानः नास्तिकः इत्युच्यते सर्वम् अदृष्टानुसारं भवति अस्ति वा नास्ति वा न जाने इति कश्चित् वदति दैष्टिकः इति सः वक्तव्यः दिष्टम् इत्युक्ते दैवं दिष्टं भागधेयं भाग्यं स्त्री नियतिर्विधिः इत्यमरः सर्वं केनचित् विधिना चाल्यते तत् कथमस्ति किमस्ति इति न जानीमः किन्तु अदृष्टं किञ्चिदस्ति अज्ञातं किञ्चिदस्ति इति सः चिन्तयति तादृशः दैष्टिकः इत्युच्यते अतः अस्ति नास्ति दिष्टं मतिः यस्य भवति तद्विषये सप्रत्ययः भवति तस्मात् इकः इति तेन योज्यते आस्तिकः नास्तिकः दैष्टिकः इत्यागच्छति अतः वेदेषु सर्वत्र आस्तिकवाद एव अस्ति एतत् प्रथमं ब्रह्मणः प्राप्यस्य रूपम् अनन्तरं प्राप्तुः प्रत्यगात्मनः तस्य प्राप्तिः कस्यचित् भवति सः प्राप्ता प्राप्यं प्रथमं प्राप्ता द्वितीयः प्राप्तुः इति ऋकारान्त शब्दः तृन्नन्तः अतः प्राप्तुः इति षष्ठी विभक्ति प्राप्तुः प्रत्यगात्मनः प्रत्येकस्य जीवात्मनः प्राप्तिर्भवति तस्य तस्य इच्छानुसारं तस्य तस्य कर्मानुसारं किञ्चित् प्राप्यते अपि तु ब्रह्मण एव सर्वं प्राप्यते इति वेदेभ्यः वयं जानीमः इत्यर्थः तृतीयं प्राप्त्युपायं चतुर्थं प्राप्तेः फलं प्राप्तेः तथा प्राप्तिविरोधि च किमपि प्राप्तिं वारयति चेत् अस्माकं किञ्चित् प्राप्तुम् इष्टम् अपि तु तत् प्राप्तौ किञ्चित् विघ्नादिकम् अस्ति किमपि विघातः भवति विरोधी अस्ति तत्र कर्म इव विरोधी भवति स्वेन यद्यत् कृतं पूर्वं तदनुसारमेव तत्र एकः श्लोकः एवमपि भवति कश्चित् किञ्चित् कार्यं न करोति तथापि तस्मै सर्वं लभ्यते अचेष्टमानम् आसीनम् अचेष्टमानः चेष्टामपि किञ्चित् न करोति आसीनः एकत्रैव उपविष्टः श्रीः कञ्चित् उपतिष्ठति तादृशं कञ्चित् श्रीः उपतिष्ठति तं प्रति ऐश्वर्यादिकम् आगच्छति अन्यच्च अन्यः कश्चित् अस्ति कर्मी कर्मानुसृत्य अन्यः न प्राश्यमधिगच्छति। अन्यः कश्चित् कर्मी अस्ति, कर्म अनुसृत्य प्राश्यं नाम आचमनार्थं जलमपि हस्ते यावत् जलं निक्षेप्तुं शक्यं प्राश्यम् इति। यत्र सन्ध्यावन्दनादिषु प्राशने विनियोगः इति भवति, तादृश केवलं हस्तग्राह्य जलं प्राश्यं तदपि कश्चित् नागच्छति। कर्म अनुसृत्य उत्पतन्नपि चाकाशं विशन्नपि रसातनम् अटर्नपि महीं कृत्स्नां नादत्तम् उपतिष्ठते। धर्मशास्त्रेषु एवमस्ति, यावतापि प्रयत्नेन कस्यचित् किञ्चिदपि न सिद्ध्यति, अन्यस्य कस्यचित् अचेष्टमानमासीनं श्रीः कञ्चित् उपतिष्ठति, स्वयं तं प्रति सर्वम् आगच्छति। एवम् उभयमपि दृश्यते लोके। तर्हि प्राप्तिविरोधी किञ्चित् स्यात् इति वेदेभ्यः अस्माकं ज्ञायते। एतत्तु प्रत्यक्षं नास्ति, किम् अस्माकं विघ्नरूपेण अस्ति इति न ज्ञातुं शक्यते। अत एव अदृष्टमस्ति, अदृष्टेषु पंचधा भवति, तत् सर्वमपि वेदेभ्यः इतिहासपुराणेभ्यः एव ज्ञातुं शक्यते। सामान्य रूपेण वेदस्य प्रतिपाद्यं यस्य कस्यापि वेदस्य ऋग्वेदस्यापि एतत् अन्वेति। अतः अत्र एवं रूपेण इति विभज्य पश्यामः तर्हि अस्माभिः किं करणीयम् इत्युक्ते सार्थकं जीवनम् अपेक्षितम्। यावत् एकः जीवति तावत् सार्थकं जीवनं तस्य स्यात्। तत्र सार्थकजीवनस्य स्वार्थकजीवनम् इत्यर्थो नास्ति। सार्थकम् इत्यन्यत्, स्वार्थकम् इत्यन्यत्। एतत्तु सार्थकं जीवनं स्यात् इत्युक्ते परार्थमपि स्यात् इत्यर्थः। एते सत्पुरुषाः परार्थघटकाः स्वार्थान् परित्यज्य ये इत्युच्यते। तत्र चतुर्धा जनानां विभागः कर्तुं शक्यते इति कुत्रचित् सुभाषिते उच्यते। तत्र प्रथमस्तरे भवन्ति सत्पुरुषाः इति। एते सत्पुरुषाः, सत्पुरुषाणां लक्षणं किम् इति पृष्टे परार्थघटकाः अन्योपकारे परोपकारे सदा सिद्धाः सन्ति। परार्थं परेषां प्रयोजनाय ये प्रवर्तन्ते परार्थघटकाः यद्यपेक्षितं।
Guruvarya, parartham, I don't understand the meaning. Can you explain a little bit more?
हाँ, अन्यस्मै उपकारः। परो नाम स्वस्मात् भिन्नः कश्चित्, स्वस्मात् भिन्नः अन्यः परः इत्युच्यते। अयं निजः परो वेति गणना लघुचेतसाम् उदारचरितानां तु वसुधैव कुटुम्बकम् इति सर्वत्र पश्यामः। अयं निजः नाम स्वकीयः, निजशब्दस्य स्वीयः इत्यर्थः। अस्मदीयः इति कञ्चित् अहं मदीयः इति कश्चित् चिन्तयति, स्वीयत्वेन यः अभिमन्यते सः निजः इत्युच्यते। मदीयः अयं निजः, अयं परः, एषः अन्यः, अनेन मम सम्बन्धो नास्ति इति कञ्चित् प्रति सामान्यजनाः चिन्तयन्ति। तर्हि निजः परः इत्यत्र परो नाम अन्यः इतरः अस्मासु न अन्तर्भवति, अस्मद्गणे नास्ति इति कश्चित् चिन्त्यते, तादृशः परः। परो नाम अन्यः इति सामान्येन अर्थः, इतरः अन्यः स्वस्मात् भिन्नः इत्यर्थः। तत्र स्वस्मात् भिन्नस्य कृतेपि कश्चित् उपकारं करोति, तर्हि परार्थं। तत्र if the recipient is not known and still if you benefit an unknown recipient, तत्र दृष्टान्तः ऋषये एव। इदानीं पश्यन्तु, ऋषिभिः मन्त्राः दृष्टाः, ऋषिभिर्दृष्टाः तपसा श्रमेण दृष्टाः मन्त्राः सर्वेषां कृते उपदिष्टाः। अपि तु कस्मै उपदिष्टम् इति ते न जानन्ति, अस्मात् कस्य प्रयोजनम् इति तेषां चिन्ता नास्ति। अपि तु यस्य कस्यापि उपकाराय भवतु यदि कश्चित् चिन्तयति तथा चिन्तकः, तर्हि सत्पुरुषः इत्युच्यते। एते सत्पुरुषाः परार्थघटकाः। सामान्येन भाषायामपि साधु सन्त इति शब्दः प्रयुज्यते। साधु सन्त इत्युक्ते सन्त इत्यस्य सत्पुरुषः इत्येव अर्थः। सत्पुरुषो नाम तत्र तैत्रीय उपनिषदि लक्षणमेकम् उच्यते। असन्नेव स भवति असद्ब्रह्मेति वेद चेत्। ब्रह्म असदिति कश्चित् वेद चेत् सः असन्नेव भवति। तर्हि सः अस्ति तथापि असन्निव नास्तीव भवति, तस्य स्थित्या सत्तया किमपि प्रयोजनं नास्ति इत्यर्थः। असन्नेव भवति यदि ब्रह्म असत् इति वेद। ब्रह्म इति किञ्चित् वस्तु नास्त्येव इति कश्चित् चिन्तयति चेत् सः असन्नेव भवति। तर्हि सन् कः भवति, सत्पुरुषः कः भवति? अस्ति ब्रह्मेति चेद्वेद सन्तमेनं ततो विदुरिति। सच्छब्दः नकारान्तः, सन् सन्तौ सन्तः सन्तं सन्तौ सतः इति रूपं। सन्तम् एनं ततो विदुः। यः अस्ति ब्रह्मेति चेद्वेद, तदर्थमेव मया उच्यते वेदेषु यत् प्रतिपाद्यते ब्रह्मविषयकं सर्वं प्रतिपाद्यते, तद्यः जानाति, तत्र यस्य विश्वासः अस्ति, तद्यः अभ्युपगच्छति, तादृशः सन् इत्युच्यते। सन्त इति लोकेपि प्रयोगः भवति। तेन किं करिष्यते इत्युक्ते परार्थघटकाः स्वस्मात् भिन्नस्य उपकारं कर्तुम् इच्छति। अज्ञात अज्ञात प्रयोजनाय, अज्ञातस्य प्रयोजनाय, कस्मै अस्मात् प्रयोजनमिति न चिन्तयति। अहमिदानीम् एकं पुस्तकं लिखामि इति चिन्तयन्, कस्मै इत्युक्ते प्रायः एकं सिलेबस् कृते एकं टेक्स्ट् बुक् लिखितुं शक्यते। तर्हि अस्य प्रयोजनं ज्ञायते अस्माभिः, ईदृशः अस्मिन् स्तरे वर्तमानः कश्चन अस्य उपयोक्ता इति। यत्र उपयोक्तुः उपयोक्तुविषये ज्ञानं नास्ति, तथापि कस्मैचित् उपकाराय भवतु इत्युक्ते तत्र श्रुतिर्वदति केचन दृष्टान्तः। भीषास्माद् वातः पवते इत्येकः मन्त्रः अस्ति। वायुः वाति, किमर्थं वाति, कस्मै वाति इति यदि चिन्तयामः, भीषा अस्मात् वातः पवते, परब्रह्मणः भयात् यदि अहं स्वकर्तव्यं न कुर्यां तर्हि दोषी स्यां, मम दण्डः भवेत् इति भयेन वातः पवते। भीषा उदेति सूर्यः, सूर्यः प्रतिदिनम् उदेति अस्तमेति, कस्मै प्रयोजनाय, कस्य कृते? तेन स्वस्मै प्रयोजनं वा अन्येषां वा इति दृष्टे लोकस्य सर्वस्यापि प्रयोजनमस्ति। कालिदासेन रघुवंशे उच्यते, यदा कौत्सः नाम वरतन्तुमहर्षेः शिष्यः रघुं प्रति, रघुमहाराजं प्रति गच्छति, दक्षिणादानार्थं तस्मात् धनं लब्धुं गतवान्। तत्समये सः पृच्छति, भवताम् आचार्यः कुशली अस्ति वा इति राजा पृच्छति शिष्यं प्रति। तत्र उच्यते, वरतन्तुः इति नाम तस्य ऋषेः गुरोः, भवताम् आचार्यः वरतन्तुः कुशली अस्ति वा इति पृच्छन्, यतस्त्वया ज्ञानम् अशेषमाप्तं लोकेन चैतन्यमिवोष्णरश्मेः इति दृष्टान्तो दीयते। अप्यग्रणीः मन्त्रकृतां ऋषीणां कुशाग्रबुद्धे कुशली गुरुस्ते। हे कुशाग्रबुद्धे शिष्य, भवान् बहु मेधावी असि, ईदृश मेधाविनं यः उत्पादितवान्, हे कुशाग्रबुद्धे ते गुरुः कुशली अस्ति वा? यस्मात् यतः त्वया ज्ञानम् अशेषमाप्तं, त्वया चतुर्दशापि विद्यास्थानानि सम्यक् अधीतानि, ज्ञानम् अशेषं न किञ्चित् अवशिष्यते, तथा यतः त्वया ज्ञानं लब्धं सः गुरुः कुशली अस्ति वा इत्यन्वयः। तत्र दृष्टान्तः उच्यते, लोकेन चैतन्यमिव उष्णरश्मेः। उष्णरश्मिः इति सूर्यस्य नाम। उष्णः रश्मिः यस्य सः उष्णरश्मिः। उष्णरश्मेः लोकेन यथा चैतन्यं लभ्यते, तद्वत् त्वया तव गुरोः सकाशात् सर्वं ज्ञानम् अशेषं ज्ञानम् अधीतमस्ति। तत्र पश्यन्तु, प्रत्येकस्य कृते सम्पूर्णं चैतन्यम् एकस्मात् सूर्यादेव लभ्यते। तत्र दृष्टान्तः दत्तोऽस्ति। यद्यपि तादृशः सूर्यः कस्मै प्रयोजनाय, कस्य कृते इति न पृच्छति, अद्य गन्तव्यं वा, एकदिनं विरामो भवतु इति न पृच्छति, वर्क् फ्रम् होम् इति न वक्ति। तेन एवं चिन्त्यते, अहं बहिरागच्छेयं चेदेव जनानां चैतन्यं भविष्यति, आरोग्यं भास्करादिच्छेत् इत्युच्यते। आरोग्यं लभ्यते इति वदामः। सूर्यनमस्कारादिकं योगादिकं क्रियते, अपि तु सः कस्मै प्रयोजनाय एतत् करोति इति पृष्टे केवलं ब्रह्मणः सकाश, ब्रह्मणः भयात्। भीषा अस्माद् वातः पवते, भीषा उदेति सूर्यः, भीषास्माद् अग्निश्च इन्द्रश्च मृत्युर्धावति पंचम इति श्रुतिर्वदति। अग्निर्वा भवतु इन्द्रो वा भवतु मृत्यु स्वयं यमोपि वा भवतु, कस्य किं फलं देयं, सुकृतस्य दुष्कृतस्य च फल विभागं कृत्वा यः ददाति सोऽपि ब्रह्मणः प्रीत्यै करोति। एवं वेदेषु सर्वत्र प्रथमं यदुच्यते तत् प्राप्यं ब्रह्म, प्राप्यस्य ब्रह्मणः रूपं स्वरूपं लक्षणादिकम् उच्यते, विभिन्न प्रकारेण उच्यते, यत् सामान्यैरपि ज्ञातुं शक्यते तथापि उच्यते। यथा वृष्ट्यर्थं कस्मैचित् तत्र दुर्भिक्षम् अस्ति, लोके अनावृष्टिरस्ति, जनाः खिद्यन्ते, तत्समये वृष्ट्यर्थमपि कञ्चन यागं विधत्ते श्रुतिः, कार्यर्या वृष्टिकामो यजेत, तथापि एषा वृष्टिः केन कारिता, कथं तत् लोकसौकर्याय भविष्यति, यथा अतिवृष्टिर्न स्यात् तथा कः नियमयति, ईदृशं सर्वं वेदेभ्यः ज्ञायते। फलं किञ्चित् वा भवतु, यस्मै कस्मैचित् वा भवतु, अपि तु दाता एक एव अस्ति इति पूर्वं श्रुतिः वदति। अत एव प्रधानांशः प्राप्यं ब्रह्म किमस्ति इति ज्ञातव्यम्। अनन्तरं प्राप्ता कः, कस्मै किं प्राप्यते इति तु तस्य कर्मानु, तत्रैव प्राप्तिविरोधी तद्विषयेपि ज्ञातव्यं भवति। अतः प्राप्य, प्राप्तृ, प्राप्ति, प्राप्तिफल, प्राप्ति विरोधी एवं रूपेण पंचधा विभज्य वदन्ति सकलाः वेदाः स इतिहास पुराणकाः। रामायण महाभारतादि इतिहासाः तेनैव साकम् अष्टादश पुराणादि एतत् सर्वमपि वेदस्य अर्थस्य विवरणार्थम् आगताः सन्ति। तेषां तु ऐकमत्यम् अस्ति, they have unanimity in teaching something, only these five, and with all their variations, with all the explanations, elucidations, lot of examples. तर्हि किं भविष्यति, सामान्येन वेदेषु प्रतिपाद्यं तत्त्वहित पुरुषार्थ रूपेण वा ज्ञातुं शक्यते।
One more.
Please.
Here.
Tell me.
No, you're saying like parartha, right?
Yes.
But if the whole universe is one, then you're not benefiting anybody else, right? You're still benefiting yourself. So like Vasudeva Kutumbam and then doing benefit for others. If everything is one, then what is others?
Yes. This is the crux of the entire Vedic literature. Ekamapi bhavati, bahu api bhavati. That is, there is something that binds all. In fact, I gave one pramana. Yaccha kinchit jagatyasmin drishyate shruyate piva antar bahishcha tat sarvam vyapya narayana sthitah. Tatra Gitayam uktam sutre manigana iva. You have a necklace which is made of number of different diamonds, different kinds of stones, valuable stones. They are different. They have different color, different value, different positions. Each is in different place. But it is one necklace when you say. Ekam also is true. Bahu also is true. Now, your question, that is the basic question. Is there difference? Yes. If there is no difference, then you don't have to be taught identity. See, you are being taught identity. Identity and having only one item is different. See, Aikyam has got two kinds of meaning. There is only one thing. Then its nature can be called Aikyam. I'll give an example. Suppose in a class, somebody comes first. When you have the word first rank used, it can also be the case if there is only one student. Even then he is first. There is no problem. There is a single student. He is first. Yes, he can be only first. He cannot be anything else. That is one way. Then if there are 1 lakh students and somebody is first, it makes a difference. First is first, yes, that word, that is Ekatvam, Aikyam. If the words, the Vastu or the thing or the entities are only one, then also oneness is possible. But that is not what the Vedas are teaching. Oneness when infinite things are there. When infinite things exist for experience. See, that is what is said by Jagati Drishyate Shruyate. You don't see only one person. See, if you just take the COVID-19 infected count, it is some lakhs of people, hundreds of thousands of people. And they are different see, that number actually denotes so many different bodies. You are able to see so many different entities. You are able to see there, doctors are not included, the attendants are not included, only the patients are included. So if this is some count, then there is some more additional count to get added to that. In spite of all of these many people, there is only one single Brahman. that exists in all of this. See, something that binds all of this. There Krishna used this word, Mayi sarvam idam protam, sutre manigana iva. I am there, idam sarvam is there. See, if idam sarvam is not there, then I need not be taught to you. There's only one item, then there's nothing that is to be taught. No one will ask you what is the rank if there is only one person. You don't have to ask because he's the only person, so he's first always. There's no question. Only if there are infinite candidates, then of course somebody can ask his rank. What is your rank among this total number of them? Both are true. So this is what is the Vedic Siddhanta. Of course, we are going to take the most important sukta, the Rasadiya sukta. After the next class, we are going to have 5 full sessions only to deal with how the entire creation happened. Rigveda has got this sukta, Nasadasi, Nosadasi, Tadanim. That sukta we are going to take. There is going to be this question. There was a time when nothing existed. There was a time when nothing existed, it is possible. Then things came into being. But then at that time, what was there? And if that was one, did it break itself into many? Or how did it become many? See, this is the basic question. Yeah, this is going to be handled, and that is the crux. Why somebody is an astika is only because you become an astika, you see difference, but you also identify them all with something common to all of them. Then what happens? See, for example, you take your own body. You take your own body. You have some ailment, some disease, let us say. Now, it can be in any limb, any organ of the body. But you go to different kind of physicians, different doctors for different organ of the body itself. See, you go to a dentist for a dental related problem. You go to a psychiatrist for the mental related problem. Suppose you go to an ENT surgeon for a different kind. It is not that, yes, you have only one body. You do not have many bodies. There's no question about this. No one asks you have got multiple bodies. But the body is comprised of number of organs. Okay, now each of the organ has got some different kinds of nature, different kinds of maintenance required, different kinds of problems that it can. And some organs are visible, some organs are not visible. There is also a difficulty in handling them. For example, liver problem or appendix problem kind of them. It's not visible to you. Generally, let us say even headache itself is of hundreds of types, people say. Head is visible, ache is not visible. Okay. But it bothers you. Now, whom do you go to? Then also you have to make a decision. See, what is my ailment? Who do I go to get it cleared? You are one person only. Where is the question, Baba? You are a single body. Yes. But what I am saying is this ekatva, bahutva is there at every level. Microcosm to macrocosm. See, both are existent. Difference exists, identity exists. Now, because there is one very, very important concept called aprathak siddhi. One cannot be without the other. They are all linked, connected in some way. Then the connecting thing alone exists can also be said. There is no problem. Except for the connecting thing, all this would have fallen apart. None of them would have been even staying where they are. None of them would have existed even, let us. That is the meaning of saying there is a single thing. Since these are different, so para, nija para difference has to exist. For example, yeah.
And one more question on the same lines.
Yes.
If, for example, like the sun, Surya,
Yes.
it's not rising because of its ichha, right? It is just it is its nature, or that is how it is made that it has to raise. So how can we call Surya or anything that like it is parartha?
Now, yes. Now I'll tell you. Now this nature you use, the word you used is nature. That is precisely what Vedas teach us. What is nature? Okay, fine. You use the word fine. But how do we define nature? And is nature under somebody's control? This is the fundamental question. Is nature controllable? Now, Surya is glowing. Fine. Can Surya's glow be stopped? This is another question. I am trying to put you question. See, it is the nature of Surya to rise or fall, set or whatever. Yes, this is by observation. People at the gross level can make this statement. Now, was there a time when there was no sun? That is the question Vedas talk about. Suppose there was a time when there was no sun. Who decided sun should be there? How should sun be? What is the lakshana for sun? If a thing exists in some form, it is called as sun. How does somebody know about this? Or who decides this? In fact, this is what we are going to come to. In fact, Vedas, when they teach something and when we observe something, I mentioned to you in one of the earlier classes, in the Vedas we find a sentence, Agnihi himasya bheshajam. That is, when you have cold, fire is the medicine for cold. This even a common person on the pavement sees. If you see in the early mornings in cold season, people actually create fire and then sit nearby that. But this is an observed phenomena. And Veda also says, what I have said in this first line here, anadhigatartha gantra pramanam. If something is unknown by other means, if Veda teaches, then only Veda is pramanam. Now there is a question whether this sentence, Agnihi himasya bheshajam, occurring in the Veda, is it pramana or not? Then we say it is pramanam. Then what is it that is unknown? Even a common person knows this. This is the question. Who gave the dahakatva shakti to Agni? This is what Vedas tries to tell us. There is an entity called Agni which has got dahaka shakti. Now, suppose if this is given by somebody and it is not its nature, you are saying it is nature, I am saying someone else has given the shakti to this. Now let us take an argument. Can fire not burn something? Is it possible? If at all somebody has given this shakti to that, can he withdraw that shakti given to Agni? This is the kind of question. Then only we can believe someone has given the shakti to Agni. Fine. Now this is possible. Now this is where there is someone else who gives these powers to something. In fact, there is someone who decides what should be nature, what should be called as nature, what should be nature of different things in the nature. In fact, all the 5 elements, suppose elements are treated as nature in science. In today's kind of modern science or the Christian science, in the Christian science, all the elements are treated as nature. Yes, they have nature, but their nature is given by somebody, created by somebody, is going to be withdrawn by somebody. This is what the Vedas are trying. Etasmad atmana akashas sambhutah akashad vayor agni agnerapah advya prithvi prithivya oshadhibhyonnam annat purusha. Purusha comes much later. But in this sense, that is where Vedas try to teach you what you see is not alone what you see. There is more than to it what you see. You see some aspects, no doubt. But beyond this, there is something which is not seen. But that is important. So, for example, even though it is, let us say, people call it as mythology. Westerners use the word mythology for all of your Itihasa, Purana, etc. Even Vedas can be myths for them. Now, in the case of Hanuman, when he was trying to burn the whole of Lanka, the Lanka burnt, but his own tail was not burnt. His own tail was not burnt, but the source of the fire was in his own tail. But it burnt the whole of Lanka, not himself. And he also says, it is not due to my own powers, it is because of Sita's powers. Now, you can control whom will it burn, whom it will not burn, when will it burn, when will it not burn. Now, Mani Mantra Aushadhadibhyaha, in the Shastras, what is it? There are certain manis, certain stones. If you take that near the fire, you touch the fire also, it will not burn you. Through mantras, this is possible. Through certain herbs, this is possible. Mani Mantra Aushadhadibhyaha, the Dahaka Shakti can be controlled, it can be stopped. There are people who walk on fire. There are rishis who have been able to even see fire inside water. Or they can churn out fire from wood, etc. You can create, you can stop its power, you can close it. These things are, if that is the case, then if such a power is proved, then of course this is not visible. What you see is one aspect of it, one manifestation of that. One of the form of that you are able to see, not the whole thing. And there is something behind this. This applies to Surya also. So Surya has this grahana. Generally what we see is the eclipse. See, when sun can be bright all the time, it is also possible sun's brightness can be covered by something else. If he has no control over that, what happens? This is the kind of thing. So when we say, in fact, the body also, see, we are able to do a lot of things, but if we are diseased, we are not able to do. The disease stops your normal Shakti. That is what we call it as Prapti Virodhi. You are otherwise capable of doing certain things, but this performing of activities is stopped by certain unseen forces. In fact, the simplest of them is hunger itself. See, when you are hungry, you are not able to do jobs that you would otherwise want to do. Where is this hunger? We are not able to see. Is it coming and stopping you? Does it tell you don't do something? But still, you are forced by something which is not seen to change your normal course of activity. So this is something which is to be in-depth analyzed, and Vedas or Shastras have done this entire thing. When people think they have achieved something, it assumes a lot more things. Many more things are taken for granted. Even in using the word nature, we take for granted many more things. That this is all given. If that is given, then yes, maybe we see this is alone producing the result. That is where in Gita we have this adhishtanam, tatha karta, karanancha prathagvidam, vividhacha prasakteshta, daivan chaivatra panchamam. The fifth one is the divine help. All these 5 factors put together cause something. If something has to be affected, there are 5 causes, and the last of them is divinity. So you don't think that you have created something. So karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. See, when that was the teaching, it is only to realize you alone are not sufficient to produce the result. There are many more other things given to you, and using all of them, you are able to produce something. See, why the Vedas used first thing is about the bhishasmad vatah pavate. You please think over a little. We are breathing. How are we breathing? Has anybody thought about? We are breathing. You are alive so long as you are breathing. See, this word prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, all the 5 have got one dhatu, ana. Ana is a root. Ana pranane is the meaning given in the dhatu patha. Now, jiva is another dhatu. Jiva pranane. Then, if somebody is living, it means he is breathing. If somebody is living, it also means he is breathing. Then there is another dhatu, shwasa pranane. Shwasa is actually breathing. Ananam, Jivanam, Shwasaha, all are 3 dhatus just meaning you exist. You don't have to do anything, even if you just exist. See, in deep sleep also this Shwasa happens. See, this activity is there till somebody is alive. See, this life is defined by breathing, nothing else. Now this breathing, how did it come about? Let us try to tell you, when a child is in the mother's womb, when a woman is pregnant, if a woman is pregnant and there is a child inside her womb, that gets life at some stage. Now, there, how does it come from? In fact, Vedas are concerned about where is the origin? Where is the origin of different forces and who controls that? Can a mother decide what should be the gender of the child to be born? Can she decide is the question. You can't simply say it is nature. It is the nature of some child to be born as male, some child to be born as female. See, if you call it as nature, then we are leaving things open. Which is the property of the nature? What property of the nature can change something to something? So nature itself is not so simple to be answered. We call it as Prakriti. In the Shastras, the word used is Prakriti. Prakriti is used, Purusha is used. Prakriti is in general nature. Prakriti also means the property, attributes, qualities, etc. So this Prakriti, we cannot understand through our senses, because we also have the Prakriti to be used to investigate itself. It is not possible to investigate somebody when you are also the subject. See, who am I is the question. It is quite difficult to answer simply because you are also the subject, you are also the object. Then it is not that easy. How do you observe? How do you separate? Now I am the observer. This is an observation. Now I am the decider. I am inferring this. So that is where we require the Vedic teaching for us. And the Vedas try to tell us. And how did Vedas tell this? Rishis saw this. That is where we told in the beginning. The Maharshis with the special equipment, they actually saw. When they saw, there's no question of contradiction. Okay, we try to say you cannot see like this. That is not possible. Nobody can go and tell someone else. If he says I have seen something, no, you cannot see such a thing. It is not possible. See, I cannot talk for the other. Provided, okay, in the case of Gita, that is where is the way, plus point of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna said something. Arjuna had a doubt. Can this be true? Then Krishna made Arjuna see what Krishna was saying. If you are able to make somebody see, that is where the rishis are all called as seers. Even in English, they are translated as seer, one who actually sees. Now, after seeing, there is no more argument about is it existing or not existing. But those who saw, what did they see? That is what we find in the Rigveda. See, when they have explained so many devatas, so many kriyas, and so many prayojanas. So this Tattvahita Purushartha part, as seen by, as experienced by dispassionate seers. See, there, that is where we said Satpurushaha, they do not have an axe to grind. They do not have any vested interest. That is where Ete Satpurushaha Parartha Ghatakaha Swarthan Parityajya Ye. They do not have any selfishness in saying something. They do not gain anything by telling something. See, if you find a person who has no personal axe to grind and he has actually seen something and is explaining as he has seen, then that is taken as valid even in today's world. See, when you use the word witness in the legal scenario, see, when you use the word witness, eyewitness, we use the word. Why is eyewitness to be taken as valid? Why should somebody take it as valid? It is possible that somebody could have seen. It is possible that the person explains to you as he has seen. If that is the assumption, then we will take it as valid. This is what is the principle. This is the entire principle way. So if in law eyewitness can be accepted, in Vedas why rishis should not be accepted? See, the basic question is, it is exactly the same case. Someone who has actually seen and experienced and explaining exactly the way he has seen and experienced without any personal interest. See, he is not related to somebody, he is not related to the judge, he is not related to the plaintiff or the defendant. Then he is a neutral person and his word is generally taken. So that is the situation in the case of Veda. All mantras have come through the rishis and they have felt, and there is so total unanimity among thousands of rishis. So this should be a valid theory. This is one of the ways of inferring. We don't have to establish this through logic, through reasoning. It is not necessary to establish the Pramanya of Vedas through logic. I am only saying logic cannot also refute. Using logic, one cannot refute. What Vedas says cannot be true, cannot be established. This is what I am saying. How it cannot be in the form it is, it cannot be established. So, yeah. Yes.
No, thank you so much, Mahodaya. This is very, I really
have more on this. We'll have more on this simply because, see, the darkness, absence of darkness is light. This is one of the theories. In that case, Surya does nothing. See, if Surya enters the scene, maybe darkness runs away. Suppose we think such a way. That is where Shruti, in the Vedas, even this theory is not accepted. Simply because when you have eclipse, Surya and darkness coexist at the same time. So then that theory cannot, this is not the abhava of something. So we are going to have discussion about bhava, abhava. This is the fundamental issue. No, na sadasit, no sadasit, sat and asat, how to define them, what are the different views. Yes, so Vedas do make us think, provoke us into thinking. It actually provokes you to think. You think you know. Do you really know? So this is the kind of questions that Vedas actually put to us. So from Vedas we benefit in terms of a very comprehensive, very detailed study into, let us say, 360 degrees you can look at something. A spherical view of the things that are seen by us. Then Paraha is there. In fact, the world has got three kind of things. Vedas also have this. Anukula, Pratikula, Anubhaya. Certain things you treat them as favorable. Certain things you treat them as hostile. And certain things you are neutral to. You are not affected by certain things. This exists so long as the body exists. This is what the Upanishads say. Priya, apriya will be there so long as there is a sharira for an atma. Only when the sharira is left, atma can remain without this priya, apriya. Then of course he becomes liberated, mukta. That is where moksha as the purushartha is defined in the Vedas. Nahavai sasharirasya swataha priya apriyayoho apahatirasti. So long as you are sasharira, that is why heat or cold bothers us is because of the body. It is not because of the atma. The atma exists at all times the same way. He is not affected directly because he is not accessible directly to the elements, but he is accessible through an instrument called the body. Now the body is different from the atma. If we say, then there is para. Now parartha ghatakaha, when we said different bodies. In fact, English there are 4 words, nobody, somebody, anybody, everybody. See, you use the word body there. Otherwise, why use the word body? How do you count otherwise? 1%, 2%, 10%, how do you count? It's only body count. Of course, death also we call it as body count. See, now COVID also has got some body count. In general, see the count. In fact, in Malayalam, there is an interesting word they use for a person. Addeham. Addeham is a word used in Malayalam. He passed away. When you say Addeham Marichu, so Deham Marichu is correct. Actually, Atma does not have Marana. So even in the common parlance, for the body, a person actually means body. Person is from a Greek root, okay, which only means body. So Atma is something which is embodied. Atma is inside a body. Okay, whereas the body is different. Now, paraha existed. So, nijaha, paraha, this different somebody is it. Then there are others. There are also those who are hostile, those who are favorable, and those who are neutral. In fact, Vedas have also said this. You try to win over the hostile people. You try to do good to those who are favorable to you, and try to reason out with those who are neutral, those who have not made their minds up. So this cannot, in fact, the Upadesha itself is not possible unless you know there is another person. See, the Rishis also to teach to somebody, if they thought the entire world is themselves, they will not teach anything to anybody because there is nobody else other than them. Then Vedas themselves will become infructuous or they will become superfluous. That is, in fact, Gita also would not be there. See, who is asking question, who is answering question, that itself won't be there. It is, but he has said, Mai sarvamidam pratam sutre manigana eva. In fact, in that Vibhuti Adhyaya, he has said, among these many things, I am this, under this, I am this. See, among rivers, I am Ganga. Okay, I am among Devarshis, I am Narada, etc. In the end, he also says, Pandavanam Dhananjaya. Among Pandavas, I am Dhananjaya. Now he is telling this to Dhananjaya himself. Is the hearer Dhananjaya or the teller Dhananjaya? This is the kind of question. He says, yes, you are Dhananjaya from one aspect. I am Dhananjaya from activating this Dhananjaya. I am activating everybody. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddeshejjana tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. So someone who activates all others can be said to be the only person. There is no problem. That is how the ekatva is also there. At the same time, see, otherwise, dana, etc., they will not be prescribed at all. See, danena dvishanto mitra bhavanti, dane sarvam pratishthitam, tasma danam paramam vadanti. Even an enemy is won over by dana. In fact, today you see the entire media, they pay off people and buy them out. You buy out somebody by paying something, he speaks what you want him to speak. Now, this is possible. Possible because he is different from you. He has a different ideology, but you want to change that. See that there is a difference. You can change that, etc. comes up only because, see, there is one level of the external world where there is difference. There is one place where there is identity, that is the cause behind the entire thing. Who controls, who maintains, who manages. That is a single entity. Now, without that, this is as good as non-existent. So, Ekameva Advitiyam is also fine. Ekameva Advitiyam is also fine. Purusha eva idam sarvam, that is also fine. Purusha eva idam sarvam. So, you also have idam sarvam word. You also have Dishyate Shvete Piva Antarbahishcha tat sarvam. What does that sarvam word talk to you about? So we have both ekatva, sarvatva, both exist at different planes, different levels. They are not actually different. In fact, they are the same, but they manifest differently. They have a purpose to be different, and they achieve that purpose by the Srishti. In fact, there is a lot of question in the Brahma Sutra. Why should creation be there at all? See, if you say Brahma is Jagat Karana, Srishti Karana, Sthiti Karana, Samhara Karana, where is the need for Srishti first of all? Suppose Srishti is not done, what will be lost? Is there any loss by not creating something? Then of course there should be a purpose, so it is done kind of. If there is a thing to be achieved, then the Brahma is not complete, it is not full, it is not infinite. So these kind of questions are asked. There again, it is the prayojana of others. So one has to exist for others. This is something that basically comes from the Upanishad, including the five bhutas, including the panchabhutas. They serve the other's purpose. Water, for example, water, pibanti nadyaha swayameva nambhaha. See, there is a Subhashita which says the rivers don't drink their own water. Nadyaha swayameva na pibanti, ambhaha na pibanti. Swayam nakadanti phalani vrikshaha. See, you have a tree, there are delicious fruits. Trees don't eat the fruit themselves, they are meant for others. Paropakaraya satam vibhutayaha. Now, yeah, this is a deep thought, deep concept. There's no doubt about it, but we need, and that is what is the benefit of learning Vedas or studying Vedas. The whole idea is look at properly, comprehensively, completely from various dimensions, look at, and that we cannot do, it is beyond us. So there have been people who have had that ability. They have taught this to us, and this has come through a long parampara, uninterrupted chain of gurus. So through the Guru Parampara, we have learned this. And Shruti also is trying to give us that as the content part of this. So the Rishis are one set of content. Devatas are another set of content. In fact, you can have different forms, different effects, different purposes. So we had so many Devatas listed, hundreds of them, hundreds of Rishis. See, different Gotras, each one has different ability. It is necessary because the world is so diverse, so infinitely varied. See, the variety exists because the entire mantra is unity in diversity. That is the ultimate, in one word, if you have to say, there is diversity, which is true. There is also unity, which is true. But these two are together true. Not one of them alone can be separated. Then we use the word aprathak siddhi. There is no siddhi prathak. You cannot have something without the other. But nevertheless, they are the same entity through operating through different ways. See, for example, there is a joint account in a bank. Let us say the husband and wife together have an account, let us say. Now this joint account is in whose name? In two names. Now there could be a single signatory at times, or both of them have to sign, let us say. Now a single account, suppose we use the word parent, let us say. Parent includes both father and mother. Can parent be singular? Yes, parent can be singular. Singular means ekavachana, but it denotes two people. Parent word itself denotes two people. It can be used in singular. It can be used in ekavachana. And how do we reconcile this? See, there is a jati or a genus which is common to two people. Parenthood is common to father and mother. At the level of father, mother, they are different. At the level of parent, they are the same. Now, Brahma is Mata Pita for the whole world. The Shruti says he is Sarvavidha Bandhu. Now, in him, all qualities can exist. The others, few of them can be there. See, for example, a female parent is called mother. Otherwise, how do you define the word mother? A male parent is called father. See, the words mother, father also, if you have to define in some form, then you will use other words. See, that is to qualify something. Now, unqualified, there is something which is the Brahman. Without any extra word to be added, it is everything. See, that is where we have Purusheva idam sarvam. But idam sarvam also exists. Only then Purusha has a value. So ultimately, the Vedas talk about Sarthaka Jivana And in this Sarthaka Jivana, that is why I started saying not Swarthaka Jivana, it is Pararthaka Jivana. Or even, see, Samanyastu Itare, Parodhyama Bhrataha, Swartha Avirodhena Ye. Generally, people do good to others after taking care of themselves. No problem. This is called a Samanya. These are common kind of people. They are not rishis. The first set, of course, includes rishis. The second group includes common people, you and me kind of people. You take care of yourself, then do charity in case possible. So, Parodhyama Bhrataha, Swartha Avirodhena. Then there is a third category which we should not be. For Swartha, you affect others. Temi Manusha Rakshasaha Parahitam Swarthaya Nignanti. For Swartha, Para Apakara you do, Para Himsa you do, that is wrong. Now there is a fourth category, it says, neither useful to you nor useful to others, but create problem. That is the fourth category. He says we cannot even name it. We can't give a name to this, he said. Ye Nignanti Nirarchakam Parahitam Teke Najanimahe. It is a great Subhashita, just to keep in mind what we want to be. There are four categories possible in the world. If we observe people, some who only live for others, some who take care of themselves and do good to others, some only bother all others, create trouble for all others, and some, they don't have their own benefit but still create problem. See, this dog in the manger policy, there is a statement, normal idiom. See, a dog sits over the pile of grass. It stops the cow from eating the grass. The dog itself cannot eat the grass. See, it is not useful to itself, but it will stop others. So even that can be. So this para happens because the God's creation is so wonderful. He only added three things, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, and added their permutations and combinations. And that is so infinite. People can keep fighting among them also is possible. They all can unite among them also is possible. So various kind of, so the theory behind the entire universe, the way we see, we perceive, and the way it is actually. So between them, what is the difference? What is the connection? Both are mentioned in the, that is what is meant for Sarthaka Jivana. You look for meaning in life. Look for meaning in life is what is Sarthaka Jivana. Who am I? What am I doing? What am I expected to do? What more can I do? Can I be of much more use to people? This is the kind of thing. Okay, Sarthaka Jivana. Of course, don't have any of the rinas left over. Rinatraya apakaranam. So, Jayamano vai Brahmana, Tribhiranava Jayate, we said. So, the Rishi Rina, Devarana, Pitarana. So, then the perpetuation will continue. Through the Pitarana apakarana, there will be perpetuation of this Dharma, this Parampara, this great tradition. It will continue. You will be a responsible citizen. You will also be responsible for others trying to get the right kind of concept on things. Then, Daivanugraha Labha. Ultimately, one realizes, I am nobody, I am nothing. I would not have achieved anything but for divine help. This is the realization as it happens. Now, I will also use one more kind of, concept. Vedas have 4 portions. Now, after this, what we should have is, we have Samhita in the Vedas. This is what we saw. We also have Brahmana in the Vedas. This is another part which explains the mantras. Then there are Aranyakas. Then we have Upanishad. Anyway, we will cover all these 4 portions, some aspect of this in the course, in the rest of the portion. We will also have to know, this is also the Pratipadya in the Rigveda. What does the Rigveda have as content? It has got 4 different kinds of content. Every Veda has these 4 divisions: Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishad. Now, I will give an analogy. Why this is meant for? See, we have 4 ashramas. Brahmacharya, Grahasthashrama, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. These 4 ashramas are different stages in life. At different stages in life, the priorities in life change. The person's priorities do change. See, as a child, somebody would have been after chocolate, sweets, whatever. Suppose he grows old, he will even laugh at, was I running after all this at that time? Kind of. So some things hold importance at some stage, some other thing at some other stage, something else later, etc. So this Chaturashramya, 4 ashramas. Ashrama is something like stages in life. Now, Vedas also have the teachings to us, which will mean for different levels more appropriate, more suitable. Now, Samhita is at the level of Brahmacharya, where the Vedadhyayana is done. You get the mantra, you learn all the four. In Brahmacharya, in the Gurukula, all the four, only the text is known. The text is memorized, it is learned, and of course, without mistake, somebody is able to. So, getting this knowledge happens in the first stage. Now, where do you apply this? That comes up when you become a grahastha. You become a grahastha, then with a patni, one can do yajna. Without patni, yajna cannot be done. Ayajnova, eshaha, yo patni kaha. If patni is not there, yajna cannot be done. And through yajnas only, devatas can be pleased. So the grahasthashrama is meant for devata radhana, yajna. So deva rina, if you want to clear, first you will be clearing rishi rina, then you come to deva rina, then pitra rina. Okay. Now this deva rina, when you are removing, then how to use these mantras? So the Brahmana Vakyas, Karma Chodana, Brahmana Vakyani. See, the mantras where they are to be used in different kriyas, in the Vaidika karma, that is being told by Brahmana Vakyas. Use this mantra for this activity about this Devata. So, yeah, there is one general definition. Mantra Brahmanayoho Veda Namadheyam. Vedas in general, what do they say? This is Apastambha's Dharma Sutra. Mantra Brahmanayoha Veda Namadheyam. Vedas are of two types. Vedic sentences are the statements. Either they are mantras or they are Brahmanas. Now, among mantras, of course, we have Rig, Yajus, Sama. Okay. Mantra is Rig, Yajus, and Sama. Three kinds, but in all the four Vedas. Okay. So, mantra, of course, Rig, Yajus, Sama. This we have seen. Then, Brahmana is their application. Where to apply them? No, Brahmana, Karma Chodana, Brahmana Vakyani. What is this? How to use these mantras in different activity. Now, Chodana into karma. For example, now, Gayatri mantra is to be used for Arghya Pradhana. Gayatriya Abhimantrita Apa Urdhvam Vikshipanti. This is a Brahmana Vakya. Sandhyayam Brahmanaha Purvabhimukhaha Sandhyayam Gayatriya Abhimantritaha Apaha Urdhvam Vikshipanti. This is a Brahmana Vakya, which is also a Vidhi. Use this mantra, Gayatri, as the mantra for Abhimantrana. Take water in your hands, recite this mantra, that gets Abhimantrita, then take this Abhimantrita Jala and throw it up. This is a Brahmana Vakya, which gives you the application for the mantra. Gayatri mantra is among Rig. We have in the Rigveda Gayatri mantra being listed. That is to be used, let us say, in the case of Arghya Pradhana. Here, similarly for homas, differently for various things, Japa, Homa, Archana, etc. For different things, different mantras are specified. Now, those kinds of sentences are called Brahmana. Brahmanas are meant for practice or use. Simply you recite them, it does not give you any phala. You have to do what is said in that. That is done in the Grahasthashrama. So, in the Grahasthashrama, Upanayana, there are some mantras. Vivaha, there are mantras. Even Antyeshti, there are mantras. Somebody passes it. No, that is all by Brahmana Vakya. First, the Vedas have the mantras, Rig, Yajus, Sama, which is about different devatas, different concept, different item. Among the for upaya for different purushartha. See, that is mentioned. This devata, please this way, will give you this, etc. Now, how to use something for some particular purpose is given in the Brahmana. This is predominantly used during Grahasthashrama. Now, Aranyaka is the third type, which is you withdraw from the world, go into solitude. You try to be to your own and think about deeper things in life. Aranya is forest. Go to forest. That is, you detach. You slowly, gradually detach from the associations that you have created. This is mine. This is required for me. He is mine. He is other, etc. So this attachment slowly, if you give up. See now, Sangha. Sangha Parityaga is what Gita also talks about. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषु उपजायते संगात् संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधो विजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमः etc. So that vicious cycle, at some stage someone tries to come out. What am I doing? Just repeating the whole thing. Get up, wash, brush teeth, take bath, eat, then keep going, come back again, then sleep again, get up, same. Okay, you put a loop, in the loop again, start back, kind of thing. How long can you keep on doing this? At some stage somebody thinks, what do you achieve by this? Okay, let me get out of this. So at that stage, see, after you have become tired of something, after you have become, okay, I am done with this, no more. See, at some stage, this can happen for different people, at different things, maybe. Not only life, maybe various other things also. See, preferences, the things of your choice, etc. Then go to Aranya. Then you be to yourself. Don't be guided by others. Don't be dictated by others. So that is a stage where you have total freedom. You will only do things that will please you. You will only do things that you think are priority. Then Aranyaka. This is not taught among people. Aranyaka cannot be done in Grama. The Shruti has these two words, Gramya, Aranya. Actually, in the Grama, actually you are supposed to live in villages because you need, a flowing river. You need to have natural ecology, pure air, etc. And of course, the air is purified by the homas that you do. So this helps. The entire cycle is kept alive, healthy, harmonious, etc. There is no problem. From this, you go to a place where you will not have others bothering you, and you also don't owe anything to others. At that stage, you will be to yourself. And at that stage also, Vanaprastha, one can be with the wife. Vanaprastha can be Sapatnika. What is missing is, Agni is missing. You don't cook and eat. This is what Vanaprastha is to do. Cooking and eating is there in both Brahmacharya and Grahastha. Brahmacharya, someone else cooks for you. The Acharya Patni cooks for the Shishya. He doesn't cook for himself. Acharya, he is a Grahastha. He has to cook for his own household. He will also feed the Shishya. So there again, he doesn't do for himself. There Bhikshacharana is there, Bhavati Bhikshandehi, he says, and then he gets his food. So Bhikshacharya is the means of getting food in Brahmacharya. Grahasthashrama only, you give Bhiksha, you also do for yourself. So that supports the other ashramas also. And that is the most productive of all the 4 ashramas. So Grahasthashrama is praised a lot because other ashramas depend on this Grahasthashrama. They depend on a Grahastha, Brahmachari or Sannyasi. Vanaprastha, of course, can be a Grahastha. He is not called Grahastha, he can be Sapatnika. See, there is a difference between Sapatnika and Grahastha. Can be with the wife, but he'll be staying in forest. He'll be away from the crowd. He'll be away from even his relatives. He'll be away from even his own children. He'll be just to himself and his wife maybe. Now, they think over what is good for ourselves, what should we do in the rest of the time that we have at our disposal. Okay, health issues can be, so that is why you go to a forest which is healthy. You don't need medicine. Second, to keep healthy, don't take cooked food. This is what Shruti said. See, the papas come up. Even anarogya comes from food itself. Annam mrutyam tamu jivatu mahuhu. Anna has got 2 facets. One is, it is also mrityu, it is also jivatu. Jivatu is a word. Jivatur jivana aushadham in Amara. Jivatu means jivanasya aushadham. That which keeps you going. But it is also mrityu. Every day you eat, you age. Since aging or jara happens, uto jarantam najahatyekam. For somebody, he lives even 100, beyond 100 years, he doesn't die. But he has a lot of ailments. This is also possible. But somebody dies very young. This is also possible. So in the Anna Sukta, Anna says, based on the karma of somebody, I operate. Say, I make someone live even beyond his normal expected 100 years kind of. But for someone, I also become mrityu very early. So this cooked food, if it is avoided, the diseases are avoided. And if you are in the natural surrounding in the forest, then what do you eat? You only eat that which is not cooked. See, there is a word, Krishtapacha. In the Chamaka also, Krishna Pachyanta me, Krishna Pachyanta me, Krishna Pachya, Akrishna Pachya are two different words. Krishi is cultivation. Krishtam is through Krishi, you get the dhanyas. Then you do the paka of them. Krishtancha, Pachyancha, Karshanat, Krishtam, Pakvam Sanjatam, that you eat. This is Krishna Pachya. Now the Krishna Pachya is for Brahmachari through Guru, for Grihastha by himself. Akrishna Pachya is for Vanaprastha and Sannyasis. Vanaprastha does not till anything. He doesn't do a cultivation. So he doesn't cook also. Something that is naturally pakwa, like fruits, even leaves of trees. Vata ambu parnashanaha. You can eat just the leaves of trees. Is the roots that are there below the ground, or the fruits which are above. So kanda, moola, phala, etc. Kanda, moola, phala, etc. If they become the, then papa is not added. The vyadhi is not added to you. But this is not possible to begin with. So that is where this is. So Aranyaka deals with concepts are the thoughts that can come to a person. He is not anymore bothered about the worldly things. He doesn't have to answer his boss. He doesn't have to take a phone call. He doesn't have to keep a mobile or a laptop, etc. So leave all of them and try to be to yourself. Think over. Think over as to what is good, where have I come from, where have I to go, etc. etc. So that kind of thinking, King Karanam Brahma, Kutasma Jataha, Jivama Kena, Kvacha Sampratishtha, Adhishtita, Kena Sukhetereshu Vartamahe. These are kind of questions he puts to himself. This is what the Upanishads teach us. So Aranyaka is detached state. And of course, totally denounce everything. That renunciation is the last stage, that is in the Upanishad. Then, see, Brahma means different things for a brahmachari, for a grihastha, for a vanaprastha, and for a sannyasi. Now, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane, Gavi, Hastini, Shunichaiva, Shopake, Pandita, Samadarshina, if we have, Samam Pashyanti is true. Samam Pashyanti, but the Sama itself has to be understood in a much deeper way. It should apply to all of these the stages of life, to different kinds of people, and to this during Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, etc. There are different kinds of other factors getting added when you are awake, when you are dreaming, when you are in deep sleep. So this is how the aspects that are getting added by Vedas are very comprehensive. So in that sense, it does not leave out anything. It doesn't miss anything. And then of course it teaches you something which binds the whole, and it says there is a single thing, it is fine. Then of course Brahma, Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma is also true, but it has Bahusyam Prajayeya, that is also true. The Upanishad says Tadaikshata Bahusyam Prajayeya, Tat Tejo Sajata, Apo Sajata, etc. Akasha Sambhuta, Vayu, etc. So both these, they have a purpose and they have a sequence and they have a consequence. This entire thing is the teaching that we get from the Veda. So, Tattva Jnana in short, Tattva Jnana need not only be philosophy. Tattva is how things are the way they are. To understand this, a lot of contemplation is needed. This contemplation or meditation is the sadhana. And the phala is the clarity that you get, the peace of mind that you get. See, ultimately, Shanti is the final phala. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. That is where you end, any Veda. So the point is, realize things. That is, know the reality of things. Realize things. Then, of course, conduct in a way you are beneficial to society. Be grateful for God's grace. Then you achieve the peace of mind. That is the ultimate. Nothing more is required. So, bondage is something where you think you are bound or you think you are able to influence others, but it's not happening. Then there is, of course, dejection, there is sorrow, etc. To go out of this, Vedas give the route. But they give it gradually, they make it practically possible. Any individual can follow these steps through and finally reach a stage of even becoming a rishi. So the rishis were also, they are also counted under Manushyas only. So among the Tarpanas, when we do Nivitam Manushyanam, when the Upanishad says, for all the Rishi Karyas, we do the Yajnopita in the Nivita form. So this Nivita is for Rishi Tarpana. Nivitam Manushyanam, it said. The Manusha Karyas, Nivita, the rishis are also Manushas, but through lot of sadhana, lot of perseverance, they have reached the stage of Sakshatkara. So it is possible for anyone from at any stage in life to reach the ultimate. That is the guarantee from Shruti, and that is the unfailing message. So ultimately, yeah, there is one book which I wanted to use, but of course it is in Kannada. In the next class, anyway, I will use some of this concept. Very nicely written. There was one Dr. Anantarangacharya in Bangalore. Dr. N.S. Anantarangacharya has written more than 100 books on the Vedic thing. Number of them in English, Kannada, Sanskrit, Tamil, various languages. And he has one book called Rigveda Ratna Samputa. He has chosen some 175 mantras of Rigveda and tries to, of course, he puts in the nutshell in the beginning. Okay, if somebody asks me, what does Rigveda contain? Then he says, it is Ashavada and not Nirashavada. This is one very simple message that he says. There is hope for everybody always. Nothing is lost. See, this is the very, very central cause. That is because there is one Brahma which will not leave you out. There is someone who is all the time taking care of you. So never worry about anything. Never have any apprehension. So will the world come to an end? What will happen tomorrow if everybody dies through COVID? Nothing will happen. See, it came through somebody, it will also go through somebody. But it is meant for some lesson. It is meant for some message. That is possible. There are different messages sent at times. But there is always this hope part. It is not Nairashyavada. It is always positivity. See, this positive outlook to life is the central theme of all Vedas. And of course, he has chosen these 175 mantras in such a way to, in fact, he begins with saying there is a single God or this Brahma who takes care of the whole world. He is Sarvajna and Sarvashakti. So nothing goes wrong. Nothing is unintended. I expected something, something else happened, will not happen in this case. So entire thing is under proper control. So don't worry. He just begins with saying, Ya eka it tamushtuhi Krishtinam vicharshanihi patir jajne vrishakratuhu. This is there in the 6th mandala. He takes up this to just say, in fact, I have put this up. All these suktas, this 175, I have just put them up. These are the mantras kind of thing. And there are also the topics. If you just look at, yeah, this is Dr. NSA topics I have written. Dr. N.S. Anantarangacharya, who gave this. His PhD thesis was very wonderful. In fact, he wrote about sadhana in the Vedas. Very beautiful thing. It's of course published number of times in Kannada. It's very popular here. And he thought of so much. He lived more than 95 years. Very, very useful life for people. He used to teach kind of. So this is Devaha Eka Eva. For that he has taken some 2 mantras. Then Lokadvaya Prabhu. This Loka or the other Loka, he is the Prabhu of both. So you go to Swargadi kind of thing or you go to Moksha, he is still Charachara Jagatpatihi. Number of mantras, each mantra, every word he has given word to word meaning, then he has given the Tatparya, etc. It's a short book, but very nice book. Just to say, what does Rigveda teach us? Only from Rigveda he has chosen Charachara Jagatpatihi, that which moves and that which does not move. For all the Stavara Jangama, he is the Swami, he is the Pati. Then there are a number of mantras. Srishtikarta, he creates things to help us. It is not without reason. So Srishtikarta, Jagat Pita, he is like a father. He is always comforting you, teaching you, guiding you, mentoring. No, nothing to worry about. But he is capable of everything. Sarva Shaktaha. You get into any kind of situations, he is able to help you out. Sarvati Shayi. He is much more than everyone, excellent than anyone else. Atishaya is something more than the others. Sarvati Shayi. There is no one above him. And he is Sarva Niyamakaha. In fact, even if a person does a bad deed, there is still Niyamana of the Lord. Because of his karma, he gives him such a buddhi and makes him do something. But later he also makes him realize, correct it and come to the right path. So this Niyamana is complete, whoever it is. Then Sarvajnaha. How is this possible? Because he knows everything. Maha Mahimaha. You can't even count all his Vaibhava, his Mahatmya. Okay, then Veeratamaha. You want help in war. You want help in fighting against anything. He will come to you with armor kind of thing. So there are a number of mantras which tries to live with Shastras, Ayudas, etc. He is there with, even in the case of, let us say, Panchayudha, Chakrayudha kind of thing, when we say, you get a reassurance. Avang Manasa Gocharaha. We can't describe him enough. can't also understand him enough. Vak, manas, for both of them, he is beyond. Yato vacho nivartante apra api manasa saha. So he chooses mantras which again explain this. Though they are meant for different devatas, then Divya Tejo Mayaha. So even in Surya, we said in the first day, Surya Mandala, we find the Lord. And that's the place to look for. It's Divya Tejo Maya. So Gayatri itself talks about Paranyam Bhargaha, Savituha Paranyam Bhargaha. So it's Divya Tejo Maya. The number of mantras. Okay. Then Nitya Yuva. He does not age. He does not have birth or death. So he is always young. So he is always trying to help you out, saying, hey, come on, let us do it. It's possible. Don't worry again. So that kind of reassurance we get. Antaryami. Yeah, this is where it's a very, very important concept what Radhika asked. You say one, you say many. Yes, through the Antaryami, one person vyapta into all of this, one who controls from inside the entire thing, a single thing controlling everything from inside. That is called Antaryami. So Dhruvam Jyotihi Nihitam. This is the kind of mantra. So next class I'll take some of this. We can also look at how exactly this kind of positivity comes out from the Vedas, which mantra, which word kind of. So this is basically to understand. I was giving an overview that it is necessary to appreciate why Vedas, what Vedas kind of. Then of course, where exactly, how this we can look at. That's not a problem. Satya Swarupi. He does not have any duality to say outside some form, inside another form. That kind of difference does not exist. All the time true. All the time true and sincerely trying to see. Bhaya Pradaha. He can also frighten if you violate his rules. That is where Bhishasmad Vatah Pavate, Bhishodeti Surya, Bhishasmad Agnischa Indrascha, Mrityur Dhavati Panchamaiti. Even the Devatas are afraid. So we should worry about his rules and not violate the rules. Like what our Prime Minister said, see, lockdown is lockdown. You follow the rule, it will help. Otherwise, you will be creating problem for yourself and others. So that kind of thing. So this Abhayaprada also, but Abhayaprada also is necessary. That this ability is there. See, there is a story. There was a snake which was biting everybody in a village. Then the villagers were very much worried how to get out of this problem. Then some sadhu came to that village. These people went and asked him, see, we have a problem from the snake. Then the snake, he could control. He simply told the snake, don't bite anybody anymore. Then based on his words, it did not bite people. Then people started playing with it and started throwing stones, etc. on that. Then it went to the sadhu and again asked, see, you asked me not to bite. Now my life is in danger. Then he said, I told you only not to bite. But you could have hissed at people. Hissed at people. They will be frightened. I only said don't bite. I never said you don't protect yourself. So, see this Bhayaprada. These are life teaching. Actually, teaching for a proper, purposeful life. It comes from Vedas. That is the basic kind of, message that one has to get. It is not that at the cost of someone, the others are not supported. Everybody is equally helped and supported. See, I usually give this example. See, God has a very enviable situation. Both the thief as well as the owner of the property, both come to him. Who should be helped? See, the thief also can go to God. God, help me to be successful today in stealing. Then the person who loses the property, he will also ask him, help me from not losing something. So his situation is difficult. The Deva, Asura, both are there and he takes care of both. Sometimes this works, sometimes that works. That is where he says, I am common to all, I am neutral. But based on your own karma, see, you deserve this, so you get this. Some other time you deserve this, so you don't. So that is how, see, this Nyaya or the concept of justice, equality, welfare, all those come from the Vedas directly. Okay, so Bhayaprada Nissamabhyadhika. Now, he doesn't have somebody equal to him, doesn't have anyone above him also. Sama, Adhika, both are not there. Natat Samascha Abhyadhikascha Drishyate. This is the Shruti Vakya in Shvetashtra Upanishad. Tasya Samopi Nasti, Abhyadhikopi Nasti. Then what happens? You cannot complain about him to others. You don't have to go to another place. But he doesn't give any room for complaining. Tasya adhikaha nasti, natasya shekaschana. He does not have an Ishvara. tamishwaranam paramam maheshwaram tam daivatanam paramancha daivatam. So this is the Upanishad saying. Tari nissamabhyadikaha कश्चित् तस्य उपरि नास्ति स एव अन्तिमः भवति तेनैव सर्वं नियम्यते सर्वैश्वर्यशाली सर्वविधानाम् ऐश्वर्याणां दातुं शक्तः तद्विधे अस्ति परमबन्धुः स एव पुत्रः स पिता स माता इत्यादि श्रुतिः वदति सर्वविधबन्धुत्वं ब्रह्मणः जगतश्च भवति अत एव ऐक्यमपि वक्तुं शक्यते भक्त अनुग्राहकः भक्तानां कृते वैज्ञस्याम पतयोरयीणाम् अथा ते स्याम वरुण प्रियासः वयं भवते प्रियाः भवेम अपि भद्रे सौमनसे स्याम तर्हि तस्य सौमनसम् अस्माकम् इष्टं तर्हि सः भक्तान् अनुगृह्णाति भक्तानुग्राहकः सर्वरक्षकः तत्र विभागः एव नास्ति सर्वेषां रक्षा तेन क्रियते सर्वसुलभश्च एतदपि श्रुतिषु उच्यते बहु सुलभतया भगवान् अस्माभिः ब्रह्म अस्माभिः उपासितुं शक्यते प्राप्तुं शक्यते परमदानी अत्यन्तं दाता भवति सर्व अभीष्टप्रदः अस्माकं कुलधनम् इत्यपि कुत्रचित् उक्तमस्ति अतः ईदृश सम्बन्धः अस्माभिः ज्ञातः परमपूजार्हः शुभदर्शनं केवलं विभिन्नविभूतीनां दर्शनमेव शुभाय कल्पते यदि ब्रह्मत्वेन पश्यामः सर्वत्र यदि ब्रह्म पश्यामः तर्हि सर्वं शुभमेव भवति अस्माकं तर्हि शुभदर्शनं किमपि विशिष्य एतदेव शुभम् एतद् अशुभम् इति नास्ति यत्र कुत्रापि शुभत्वं द्रष्टुं शक्यते शुभदर्शनं कथं स्यात् इत्यपि श्रुतिः वदति अनन्तरं भगवतः दिग्दर्शने कर्तव्यपालनं करणीयं तस्य दिग्दर्शनं तदेव गायत्री मन्त्रस्य अर्थः धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् सः धीं प्रचोदयति तेन मार्गदर्शनेन वयं कर्तव्यं पालयामः एवं श्रुतिर्वदति भगवतः दिग्दर्शनेन मार्गदर्शनेन कर्तव्यपालनं ज्ञानस्य वृत्तमेव लक्षणं भवति किञ्चित् ज्ञातम् अनुष्ठितमेव वृत्तं नाम अनुष्ठानमेव लक्षणं ज्ञानस्य किञ्चित् ज्ञातं चेत् तदनुसारम् अस्माभिः वर्तितव्यं तदपि मन्त्रेषु उक्तमस्ति एवं जीवनसङ्ग्रामे कथं जयशीलत्वं शक्यते कथं जयेम इत्यादि गृहकृत्यं सुगमं भवतु निरपेक्षत्वम् अपेक्षितम् अनृणा भवेम इत्यादि एतत् अग्रिमकक्षायां येषां विषये किञ्चित् वक्ष्यामि यदि मन्त्रान् स्वीकृत्य मन्त्रेषु किमुच्यते कथम् एतत् आशावादस्य आस्तिक्यस्य लोकसौहार्दस्य उपकाराय भवति इत्यपि पश्यामः एवं रूपेण तत्र तत्र विभिन्न अंशाः सङ्गृह्य यदि दृश्यते तर्हि अस्माकं मनसि एषा कल्पना समीचीनतया आगच्छति एतत् अग्रिमकक्षायाम् एतद् वक्ष्यामि अनन्तरं विनियोगविषयोऽपि अस्ति यागेषु कुत्र विनियोगः मन्त्राणां विनियोगः यज्ञेपि भवति जपे भवति होमे भवति ध्याने भवति एवं बहु प्रकारं तदपि प्रतिपाद्यमेव अस्माद् एतद् लब्धुं शक्यम् अस्य पुरुषार्थस्य कृते अनेन हितेन एतेन तत्त्वेन एतत् सिद्धिर्भवति एतदपि एकं रूपेण प्रतिपाद्यमस्ति अतः the overview of the content of Rigveda is looked at from different angles. So we can, one side is about what literally very words of the mantra contain. Second, what is the message of the mantras? So this is how we divide it and then go for. In the next class, I will take up this. Some of these, at least 175 mantras are there. They are quite good. I only wish probably earlier I could have translated this to Sanskrit. It is in Kannada, but of course, long ago I had given a lecture in his memory. He passed away about 5-6 years ago. Very close to me, and of course, his children asked, and I had given a lecture based on this. That was in, of course, Kannada for the local people. So that presentation is not useful. That is written in Kannada. So anyway, I am wanting to make this out in the next class. Get some of the hints about how exactly from Rigvedic words we get solace, we get guidance, we get reassurance. We also get peace of mind.
Guruvarya.
Yeah.
एतस्य लेखकस्य कश्चित् आङ्ग्लभाषायां पुस्तकानि लभ्यते वा?
न तेन उक्तं तत् इंग्लिश वर्षन् अपि अस्ति इति अहं पश्यामि यदि अस्ति तर्हि वयं we should be able to get. He has written in English, I know. In Rigveda he has written books on, but this specific book is not there. This has a specific reference. This mantra word to word meaning is there. Then the tatparya is given. But his son was telling me yesterday night, I think there's an English version. I'll find out, like He's my student, so that way so people are trying to at least, it should be available. I'll see, or I will at least try to make out of this in this course. But over a period of time, I intend to at least have maybe some series of lectures on even these mantras. That will be helpful in some other way. Let us see. Yeah, but there are people who have done so much of work. That is the greatness that this culture has produced. See, this tradition has such a great advantage. Many selfless people for ages together have been working on them. They have not thought of any return out of that. What out of this, they have never thought of. Yes, this is good. We believe it is good. So whosoever feels so, let them benefit. That is the way people have made. I found it helpful only because it gives you actual feel of the mantras, plus what does it say, instead of simply summarizing. So I couldn't get enough time. Tomorrow onwards I have this Ram Navami, some 9 days, some lectures on Ramayana. I had little time. So yesterday night up to 11 I was doing. We finish this out and then try to see next class. I will have. I still want to draw the attention to good resources that are there. That is also important. So that even after the course one can pursue. And whenever needed, this could be approached. So that is the kind of. How does it say? What does it say? At least that I would have introduced. So I think that should help. Yeah.
भवतः भाषणानि कुत्रापि मिलति वा महोदय?
Site मध्ये इदानीं निक्षेप्तव्यं. There are a number of terabytes of things the last 20 years in various languages I have said. People have somehow stored them all. Now in our own site we are wanting to put them out. In the OneDrive we will have them, about 4 terabytes. Now we have taken some space. This whole thing will be put up there. Because a lot of things are useful. I know different times I said different things, and maybe now they can all be consolidated. We have a dedicated website now, and there is a separate data server alone, wherein only this data will go, audio, video. And there are some good help for me. Some of my students are very nice. 2 of them, of course, MTech in computer science. One from IISc and one from IIT Madras. Both gold medalists. Both are studied for more than 20 years with me on the whole Vedas. They are the real help for me. Yeah. Slowly we are getting them up. So into the site we will get all of this. Fortunately, nothing is lost. That is something I never expected. From the day one, people have been recording, even through simple audio tapes onward. Now they are all getting converted into MP4 and all. They are putting it up. Someone is doing that. Yes, I find it can be of use. Yeah, it's difficult to write out everything, number one. Number two, I have one strange experience. Once I had been to Pondicherry, Arvindo Ashram. So at that time, there was some talk to give in some computer science department of a university, Pondicherry University, in Sanskrit department. I had a lecture to give, some demo, some other place. I also visited this Pondicherry center, Arvindo Center. That in charge there, Narendran or somebody was there. I don't remember his name. He was just talking.
Yes, Narendran ji Mode.
Yeah, some Narendran used to be there. Yes.
And Sampadananda Mishra, both of them.
Sampadananda Mishra came later. Yeah, Sampadananda Mishra came later. Yes. No, I am talking about 90s.
Narendran.
In 1990, I went to Pondicherry University. I have difficulty cooking myself, eating all that. I am very orthodox in that sense. But they made a lot of arrangements. I went for a day, but I had to extend for 2 more days. It so happened that he wanted to know about the language Sanskrit, the worth of the language Sanskrit. Later, they have produced a lot of books now. Sanskrit Bhasha, then learning that in graded way. So at that time, I was talking. Then he said, lecture we recorded. Later, we thought we were only talking. Now I have realized I just carry my tape recorder all time through. Whatever he generally talk also, it contains so much information. Then finally he wrote to me after some months. We have produced this book, The Wonder That Is India, kind of some Sanskrit language. He said, 72 hours you stayed in Pondicherry. At least I have covered some 54 hours of all that you talk, and they were all very useful. So it is difficult to separate. See, normally the tradition is Gurukula Vasa does not have syllabus-based, class-based teaching. See, life itself is the teaching. So the Shishya word is not there in Vedas, I said. Antevasi. So you just live by the side of the Guru. You live with him, then you pick up everything. Even the Anushtanas, conversations, question answers, whatever. Besides teaching maybe some specific text. So that is only one small part of the whole thing.
पुस्तकं सम्यक् अस्ति महोदय. The Wonders That is Sanskrit. तत् पुस्तकं तु सम्यक् अस्ति महोदय. सम्पदानन्द.
पुस्तकं सम्यक् आगतमस्ति जानामि.
महोदय एकं विन्नपं यदि भवतः भाषणानि कन्नडभाषायाम् अस्ति चेत् अहं आङ्ग्लभाषायां ट्रान्स्लेट् कर्तुं
तत्तु विद्यते. रामायणस्य वाल्मीकिरामायणस्य केचन MA संस्कृतं कृत्वा PhD करणार्थं संस्कृते तस्य प्रत्येकस्य पदस्य विवरणम् इष्टवन्तः तेषां कृते 20 वर्षेभ्यः एतत् प्रचलति इदानीमेव अरण्यकाण्डं प्रचलति प्रतिश्लोकं गृहीत्वा व्याख्यात्रयम् अस्ति व्याख्यानद्वारा तत् विवृणोमि तत्तु कन्नडभाषायाम् अस्ति 1999 it started now it is still going on that fully is available that the entire recording weekly about 1.5 to 2 hours Sundays used to do nowadays it is on Tuesdays anyway but that is available so only thing someone has to take that but the entire Veda Bhashya Vedangas etc that I have taught that is there somewhere in Tamil somewhere in Kannada luckily I am finding they are saying it is more than nearly 10,000 hours of record in various subjects but anyway now it is all going to be slowly put up into place yeah it's necessary that okay at least someone gets through the traditional way there are other things also I'm not saying this is the only way but one should also have options okay what do this person say A B C D different views you see and which looks okay for you also depends on one's own preferences kind of thing what one takes kind of yeah we just do our duty to see this is part of Rishi Rina see you have to keep thinking about propagating adhyapana like adhyayana is also equally important so that keeps happening yeah good I think we'll close for the day okay thank you
धन्यवाद गुरुवर्य
good
धन्यवाद
link is it what is this link bhakti list archive